Fabulous St. Pete Beach, the stunning Gulf of Mexico, and 50 of the planet's fastest jet ski riders. It's not going to be a dull weekend, is it? Welcome to the magnificent Don Cesar Hotel for the St. Pete Beach Grand Prix of the Gulf, round 2 of the 2019 P1 AquaX Pro Enduro Series. After the big surf of round 1 in Daytona, some of the world's top jet ski riders have travelled here from places all around the globe, countries like Argentina, Germany and Indonesia, to fight it out on this venue, which has become one of the most popular over the championship series. The season kicked off a few weekends ago in the legendary Daytona Beach, and it didn't disappoint. We had all of the drama that the huge surf there provides. Well, some of those shots there really look brutal. I tell you what, aquacross racing is tough on man and machine. It's not just the skis themselves that needs repairing after a weekend like that. Eric Francis knocked a tooth clean out. He's had a few trips to the dentist. That's repaired. He's back racing. Aero Aswell wasn't so lucky, though. He bashed his knee in that one, has actually had to have surgery, and is currently at home recuperating. So, Aero, best of luck on your recovery from all of us here at Aquacross. And after all that, he's back at the top. The veteran rider, Chris the Mac Attack McLuggage, showing all of the hunger of a man half his age and all the experience that he's gained from years and years of racing that went to make those conditions just look easy.
Well, the thing about this weekend is it's a very, very level playing field. I think Christian Daly's going to be very good this weekend. He's in really good shape. Brian Baldwin's always there. He's like that cold that won't go away, or so, you know, thorn in your side. But I think Eric will be good. I don't know if he's going to have a little bit of stuff going on in his head because of the injury that he sustained at the first round, but you know, he should put up a good fight as well.
Well, chasing him down this weekend is another veteran rider and former world champ, Yamaha man, the ultra-fit, ultra-fast Brian Baldwin, and he's going to be taking no prisoners this weekend. From cast your mind back to Daytona, that was a brutal race. Your eye was bleeding on the beach after that one.
Yeah, you know, it's a total different change out here. I really like it when it's rough, but I like it when it's smooth too.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast race this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super flat. You know, the skis are going to have to be full, completely full with fuel to make the whole 30 minutes. We assumed that it was going to be flat. We set it up for the flat water, and we're going to go for it.
And the man to your side here, cheering you on once again as the years go by. He's getting taller and taller. Not long till he's going to be involved in this, right?
Yeah, super pumped to see him. You know, he's riding ski now, and he's getting really, really fast. So I'm so excited.
Woo! But one rider who I know will be looking up to both of those guys is number 202, Tyler Hill of California. He made the step up from the amateurs to the pros for the first time in Daytona, and he may have had a tough time of it, but oh boy, has that guy got some promise.
For me, it's a dream come true. You know, I grew up in the sport, watching my mom, my dad, and it's funny, there's actually a picture of me with Chris McLuggage when I was like 4 years old on one of his factory skis back in the day. So it means a lot. St. Pete Clearwater, there's been such an awesome sponsor coming on board. So, you know, it's really important for us to come down here and to represent really well. The calmer water, it's gonna be a lot more speed, but still the boats are so fast. These go upwards of 80 miles an hour. You gotta be able to hold on to it for 30 minutes. So it's still gonna be who put the most work in the gym and who can make the right passes at the right time.
Well, as the amateur riders fight it out behind me in the surf there, one man who knows exactly what it's like to make the step up to pro is Christian Daly. In 2018, it was his rookie year, and I tell you what, he started this season as well as he finished the last. So the first round then was Daytona Beach. It was rough surf. Max certainly likes the surf, but how did you find that? It was pretty brutal, eh?
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, I love the surf. I'm not as experienced as he is in the surf. That's why I look to him for any pointers. But I loved it. Definitely beat me up, that's for sure. We're in St. Pete this weekend, and it's a big change. I mean, the water is essentially glass, but that doesn't mean you change the setup now, because it's going to get choppy when you have all those boats out there. So you're still looking for that hookup, but it's going to be a fast and an awesome race for sure.
So here we are then down at the water's edge, and I'm pleased to say that I am joined now by the main man himself, our race commentator, Mikey Young. Mikey, good to see you.
Kev, always great to see you, my friend.
Well, how about this setting then? We've got the Don Cesar just over there, the Gulf of Mexico behind us. It doesn't get much better, does it?
White sandy beaches, emerald green water. We're not in Daytona anymore.
We're not anymore, and I tell you what, let's just cast our mind back to Daytona, because the setting was quite different. It was rough, it was tough, it was gnarly, but it was guys like, you know, the Mac Attack, Chris McCluggage, and Brian Baldwin who showed that they've got the class and the experience to handle it.
Well, Chris McCluggage, definitely one of the best surf riders, and Baldwin, always a hard charger. You got to watch out for those two. But I'll tell you, there's also guys like Eric Francis, last year's champion.
Yeah, and Eric Francis there, you know, bust his tooth, it was so rough in Daytona.
Yeah, Francis, he had a real tough weekend. He's back here, and he's back to make a statement here in St. Pete Beach.
We've also spoken today to guys like Tyler Hill and Christian Daly. Christian Daly, it was his rookie season last year, but he did really well. He's looking forward to this race. And Tyler Hill as well, making the step up. We can expect big things from those guys.
Yeah, Christian Daly, I'll tell you, this guy's been racing every weekend. You know, he not only races this series, but he races a bunch of other series. So you got to wonder if travel fatigue is going to set in on him. And Tyler Hill, he comes from the West Coast. Is he going to be jacked up from that plane ride over here? Who knows? We'll see.
Well, we will see. And that race then, the first of 3 this weekend, will be coming up right after the break. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back to St. Pete Beach and the Don Cesar, where we are getting set to go. So it's going to be 3 races this weekend then. That's 1 today and 2 tomorrow, and they are 30 minutes plus a lap. And if you've ever ridden a personal watercraft before, just imagine the shape that you would need to be in to race one of these 300 horsepower machines at speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. It's going to be awesome. Flat water, fast racing.
Yeah, this ought to be interesting. This will be the first time in AquaX, but I've been running it. It's on flat water, so we'll see how it turns out.
Best of luck, my friend.
Thank you, Kevin.
No surf here. This should be a fast one.
Yeah, we all should be going as fast as we possibly can.
Best of luck. Eric, great to see you, my friend. We are set for a fast race. Not much surf out there right now.
Yeah, you know, it's flat. It's been rough here the last couple of weeks. I live close to here, been practicing. It's been super rough, so this was a little surprise to us, but we think we have some speed to keep up and see what happens.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Tyler, so we've been sitting around all day. Now it's game time. How you feeling?
Feeling great. You know, I'm really confident going into this. I love how the water's looking right now. You know, I got a really fast boat. Reva's done an amazing job with it, so I'm feeling great. I'm going to get the win.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at the race course here in St. Pete Beach, right behind the Don Cesar. Counterclockwise rotation on this 1.7-mile course, 11 turns. 1, 2, 3, and 4 around to 5. A right-hand dogleg at 6, 7, 8, and 9 into another right-hander for the chicane into the start-finish line.
Well, racers are standing by right here at the starting line. Everybody is staged, and all the usual suspects are ready to go.
On board Chris McCluggage, that was on board Francis before that. It's going to be a battle to see who gets the hole shot here in the first race.
Yeah, you got Phil Pope, 4-time champ from the United Kingdom, Brian Baldwin, and of course looking out, boat number 44 in front of him from Germany. That is Team Serbia's Daniel Wagner.
All right, they are lined up, and we have a green flag, and let's see who got the hole shot as we are underway, race number 1 here in St. Pete.
Well, I'll tell you what, looked like Tyler Hill with the pink helmet there, got a great jump on the inside. Brian Baldwin, his Riva teammate, we're looking out through the lenses of him, and you got Eric Francis just flanked to Baldwin's right. So Francis right now poised to grab a hole shot as we look through the goggles there. Christian Daly, who has looked really good so far this year.
They're on board Christian Daly. I am just perpetually amazed at what these guys go through. From the shore, our vantage point, it doesn't look like it's all that rough, but you see them manhandling those machines at upwards of 70 miles an hour here in, it might look smooth where we are, but it isn't smooth when they're on the water.
I'll tell you what, as we go into the first turn down here, it looks like Francis going to nab that hole shot as you see our first 3 riders come through that exit turn down there at the south side of the track. Francis in front, Tyler Hill in second, And it looks like Brian Baldwin dicing it out right now for that third place.
Tyler Hill dove to the inside, shortened the distance, moved himself into second place, but Francis is out front as they come towards the beach.
That's right. They got that right-hand dog leg, and Francis sets himself up nicely as he gets ready to come down that front straightaway. And you can see right there through the lenses of Baldwin, Tyler Hill just didn't give him any room whatsoever.
No, but that's how you get mashed into one of those buoys, and those buoys are big. I promise you, you hit one of those and you are going to stop instantly.
Yeah, I hear they're big and expensive because if you hit one, you have to buy one.
Oh, he got the door slammed on him again completely. Just great driving by our top three.
Well, I'll tell you, Francis doing a great job out there. Tyler Hill, a rookie here in the pro class and driving like a vet out there today.
Looking on board Tyler Hill as he tries to find some clean water, because it's definitely not fast, is it, Mike, when you're right on that white water?
No, you got a lot of cavitation issues with too much air inside the bubbles coming out of that pump right there. You're not going as fast. You want to try to find clean water as you set up for your turns.
I love watching Francis pick lines, and you know, when you're out front and you haven't hit lappers yet, you really just kind of have a joyride is when you get into that lap traffic. And look at this battle right here for second place.
Yeah, that's Baldwin working on the inside of Hill right now, and he'll have position as they come up to it. But here comes Hill once again. Boom, there goes the door, and it slams shut.
Well, he gave him a courtesy lane, the width of a ski.
Yeah, right. Again, going to need that shoehorn.
Yeah, but he's eating all kinds of jet wash off the back of that boat as we go back on board with Tyler Hill.
Yeah, Tyler Hill doing a great job coming all the way from the West Coast. Got to wonder if that time difference affects him as he comes out from Lake Havasu City every weekend.
See, there's a little bit of a bump. Oh, we've got a ski already off.
Uh-oh, and that's a tough break. That is one of our front runners there, boat number 105, Christian Daly. Daly, who races for Broward Motorsports, as well as Dean's team. Looks like he's coming in early, and let's take a look at this pass here that Baldwin just made on Tyler.
Baldwin finally got himself to the inside. Tyler wasn't going to slam the door that time. He dove in, did one of those out-to-in moves, and got him.
Yeah, I think Baldwin was going to make sure that that door stayed open, whether Tyler was there or not.
He pretty much kicked it open.
He sure did. As we take a look now, you can see your second and third place riders just behind a lapped rider right there. Francis way out in front right now. Baldwin 502, and then again right behind him is Tyler Hill right there on the Riva Motorsports Yamaha.
This lap traffic always makes it a challenge as we go back on board our leader, Eric Francis. Now he doesn't have such clean waters. He's working his way through some lappers.
Yeah, and it looks like that's given Baldwin a little bit of time to climb back into this one. So Francis better watch out because he's got Baldwin right there just out the backside right now.
This is where you got to be watching that mirror a little bit. Not sure if he knows he's there. He goes to the outside, goes right through the prop wash. So now he's on the outside. Francis, I'm not sure Francis realizes he's got a whole bunch of boat coming up right behind him.
Well, I'll tell you, he's also worried about those lap traffic racers that are in front of him. He's got to worry about getting past them and not worry about what's behind him, although he doesn't know that that's Baldwin.
Yeah, and Baldwin just had to thread the needle between a couple of lappers. He's now on the inside of Francis.
Yeah, Baldwin, Francis, and McCluggage all vying for that coveted Lucas Oil AquaX World Points Leader rankings.
Let's see if Francis gives him a lane as he goes around, because I think he just thinks he's running his own race right now, doesn't realize that he's got some competition behind him. But, he got around that turn a little bit quicker, opened up the margin as he is on what should be the final lap right now. He's at the south end of the race course, coming into the right-hand chicane towards the beach.
Wow, and I'll tell you what, he's rode a great race and had some great strategy. He got way ahead early on in the race. Baldwin is catching up here right at the end, but it could be too little too late, as Francis only with about one more buoy to negotiate.
He comes into the right-hander where he's going to be heading straight at the beach. And there you see the gap right there as Baldwin swings around the outside. He's running right in his wake. But Francis crosses the final turn, heading towards the start-finish line. The checkered flag is out, and it looks like it's going to go to Eric Francis.
Yeah, congratulations, and you can see he is saluting his sponsor right there, Broward Motorsports. Also Works Components and Jet Pilot helping out Francis this season. As you can see, an exhausted Baldwin after that final run at Francis.
30 minutes plus one lap in this heat. And let's take a look at our leaderboard. Eric Francis takes the win, followed by Brian Baldwin, Tyler Hill, Dennis Mack, Sophie Francis, and Eric Lagopoulos.
So, Brian, second place there on that one. But I tell you what, you put the heat on Eric Francis with about 2 or 3 laps to go. You were chasing him down.
I was trying to get warmed up before this thing. And, I was starting to build, and, I could see him getting closer, and we just ran out of time.
Yeah, I think he knew that you were chasing him down there. The heat was on him.
Yeah, I saw him look back a couple times, and I was like, You know, and I just, that compelled me to just go even faster, so we just ran out of time.
All right, well, best of luck. Puts you in good shape for the next couple tomorrow.
2 as good as a 1.
So that was a dominant performance. Strength in the arms, strength in the legs. It was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it was all about pace, and I mean, I'll admit I went a little hard out the gate, and I'm sure it showed. I stretched a little bit early on, but I paid the toll about, you know, 3/4 of the way in. I felt myself like, we should have backed it down, but we kept it together, focused on the breathing, and seemed to work really well. The lappers were causing some issues, but not enough to cause us to lose, so we got the win.
Congratulations, got yourself on the podium there, and for a large portion of that race, it looks like it was going to be the second step as well.
Yeah, I was holding second, I think, for about half the race. I never really saw the green flag. I thought I did, but I wasn't sure. But I was holding off Baldwin for most of it, and then I got caught up with a couple lappers, and he got the best of me and got me in this tight section right here.
Phenomenal, though, to see you coming out the blocks like that, and, you know, after one lap, you're chasing down Eric Francis. You must have been buzzing.
Yeah, no, that's, like I said earlier in our interview, you know, it's a dream to be racing with those guys, to be able to hold with them, you know, it really boosts my confidence, shows that I can run their pace. So now I just got to put it together for a little more of a moto, and, you know, but for right now, I'm just going to look forward to the next race and keep it one step at a time.
Best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Well, aquacross truly is a global sport, and a win here in Florida doesn't just mean that you'll get to stand on top of the podium. It also means that you're earning yourself all-important world ranking points. And excitingly, once again, the current world #1 is going to be announced here in St. Pete this weekend.
#1 world ranking is... Ooh, how about it, ladies? The Tweaker, currently #1 in the world ranking points.
You know, these two guys, you know, they're my main competition, and you know, it's always us three just battling it out, and you know, this is huge. Like, you know, I've been fighting for this since 2015, and it's super important.
So huge congratulations to Brian there, and Mikey, that'll mean a lot to him. It's the first time he's been crowned world #1.
Well, let me tell you, it's really something to be world #1 because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of calculations. Not only do you have to be the most consistent rider over the past couple of seasons, but you've also had to ride in the toughest conditions against the toughest riders. And Brian Baldwin has done it. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done to him. Strong finishes for him. Consistency, turning up at the right events, he just had it all. But it's a rolling thing, so it's going to change again 2 or 3 times a year, I think.
Yeah, that's what Lisa was telling us. It's going to change 3 times a year. We'll announce it 3 times a year. I believe the next one we'll announce will be in September, so stay tuned.
All right, lots to play for then. And excitingly, 2 more great races to come from here in St. Beach, and we're bringing you those right after this. Welcome back and good morning from St. Pete Beach, here once again for day 2 of the Aquacross Pro Enduro Tour. We had a phenomenal race yesterday on what was fast, flat water, but it soon got mixed up once all of those skis got out there and started doing their thing. Ultimately, the man that came out on top with the dominant display was number 911, Eric Francis. Just behind him, though, and needing a couple of extra laps, was the man that was also crowned the Lucas Oil world ranked #1, Brian Baldwin. And how about Tyler Hill in 3rd in what is only his rookie season in that Pro Enduro class? It's a fantastic setting down here on the beach at St. Pete, and we have 2 more great races to bring you. But before we do, I thought I'd catch up with one of the men that makes all of this possible.
We couldn't be happier to have Aquacross here in the beautiful destination of St. Pete Clearwater. It's a quintessential type of event that represents the excitement, the speed, the vibrancy of what this destination is. And I think it's really an inspirational type of event for not only the fans, but what you're going to see here on TV. It's wonderful. You couldn't have picked a better backdrop here in our destination. The beautiful dances are, you know, we showcase this beautiful building in a lot of our marketing pieces. And, you know, it really just screams the beauty of our community here. And so, yeah, we couldn't be happier to have you here, right in the shadows of the dances are. So welcome back.
Tim, thanks ever so much. Have a great weekend, and thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, and I hope all those watching come visit us.
Well, thanks to St. Pete Beach for their continued support, and I'm pleased to say that there's also some exciting news about another venue that's going to be coming up at the end of the year.
Definitely. Aquacross is heading to the Bahamas. The USA Series will be the race to the Bahamas. You know, we've had Daytona, we've had St. Pete Beach here. You know, the Dances are a great backdrop, but we're going to have another great backdrop with the Atlantis in the Bahamas. It's going to be a great race series. I mean, it's really going to be the Europeans against the Americans, against some wild card entries. So you're going to have everyone from all over the world, the top racers around the world from Aquacross coming all together to crown the world champion. And we're really excited. We did it 2 years ago in Key West, and now we're going for it again. It's going to be great, so hope to see you there.
Well, exciting news about the Bahamas there, but back to the here and now on St. Pete Beach, and we've woken up to what is nice, fast, flat, calm water. It's going to make for a great race, and so we're going to see now who we can catch up with ahead of the first one of 2 today. Tyler Hill just going in. I'm going to try and speak to him. Tyler, here we go, man. It is day 2 races. I just saw you going for a bit of a run down there on the sand. You're feeling good?
Yeah, feeling real good. You know, I'm really excited for today. Feeling real confident, and want to show these boys that I can get a win.
And I tell you what about the setting here at St. Pete Beach? It's going to be for a fast race, fast, flat water.
Yeah, a lot of people complain that's not rough, and yeah, you know, the rough really brings another factor into it, but you still got to be able to hold on to these really fast boats for the whole entire race. And they said they tightened the course up a little bit, so it's going to make it a little more technical, a little more strain on the upper body muscles, so it should be good.
Best of luck, buddy. Dennis, great day from you yesterday, 4th place, brilliant ride, you must be buzzing.
Yeah, definitely, we're feeling the rush. Ready to put it on the podium. We're going to keep trying until we get it there.
Fast, flat water today, you looking forward to this?
Yeah, definitely. We enjoy the rough water. It separates a lot of the talent from boats, but we'll take flat, we'll take rough any chance we get to race.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Brian, good to see you, man. You're wearing the Lucas Oil World Rank #1 vest. How does that feel this morning?
Man, it's pretty humbling, actually. You know, I've been working a long time for this, and you know, finally got it.
Yeah. And we've woken up today to fast, flat water. I just heard you say you're looking forward to this.
Yeah, we changed a couple things on the ski to get it a little freed up. So hopefully that'll get us in the front.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, as the pro riders like Chris McLuggage there, number 46, go and get set ready for their first race of 2 this weekend, don't forget that it's also the amateur classes that do their best out here on the water as well. So let's take a look and see how they got on.
Chris Landis, 201 from Riva Motorsports, ended up being the star of the Amateur 300 class.
These amateurs, 200s and 300s on the course at the same time, and they also did 3 heats at 30 minutes plus a lap.
Boat number 35, Jason Lester, also having some great finishes there. Radulski would have some problems in the second race, losing the lanyard. Congratulations to number 201, riding for Riva Motorsports. That is Chris Landis. All right, let's go here with the start of race number 2 as we look through the lenses of Chris McLuggage, and you can see he's trailing back just a little bit. They won't get them started until everybody is up there and even. As again, we go on board with Tyler Hill, and boy, this kid has been a rookie sensation, Martin.
It's unbelievable. And tell us a little bit, these guys have got to be feeling a little bit of fatigue since this is their second 30-minute moto this weekend.
Yeah, second 30-minute +1, a total of 3 +1. As you took a look there again at our good friend Christian Daly. Christian Daly is riding incredible here the last couple weeks and made a very good showing in Daytona. This only his second year in the pro class.
And they are on the back straightaway heading towards the south end of the race course here.
Yeah, very long straightaway. When they let them go, they've got about a mile-long straightaway before they hit that first turn.
You got Tyler Hill, you can see he's got traffic on both sides.
Yeah, it looks
kind of gets roosted going through right there.
It looked to be Eric Francis, and now we're looking through the lenses of Francis right there, and you can see just how busy it is out there. Looks like Baldwin just to the right of Francis.
Just came over and gave him a little nudge right there on the side. He was that close.
And that's it, and you can see, looks like Eric Francis in second place right now, but I believe that's Christian Daly grabbing one of his first hole shots in his young Aquacross career.
Coming up to that right-hander that they make heading towards the beach.
Well,
a little bit bumpier this heat, too.
Yeah, and it looks like Daly, you see him, he keeps looking back. He's like, hey, man, did I miss a buoy? Am I in first? What's going on?
I think you got to get to a certain point where you go, what's behind me is not important. Keep your eyes looking forward as you go on board with Chris Daly.
Well, I'll tell you what, Broward Motorsports and Dean's team, Dean Charrier, spinning the wrenches underneath the hood of that. And I'll tell you what, those are two great sponsors right there. As you take a look at Tyler Hill in that second place position and Chris McCluggage advancing up into third.
McCluggage goes a little bit deep, then swings back and tries to square off the turn on the inside. You can see just how much wake they gave him right there. I mean, it's really only a boat width.
Well, you know, I was taking a look here at results for McCluggage. We didn't see him up there in the top 6 on the leaderboard. He ended up in 9th, had a mechanical issue, and hopefully they got that result here for race number 2.
On that back straightaway, definitely a little bit bumpier than it is on the shore side, coming up to that right-hand dogleg.
Yeah, and you can take a look right there as Daly going up and down, you know, using a very different type of racing style. A lot of them will either sit down the whole way or they're going to stand up in that attack mode the whole day. Daly using a little bit of both. Daly, Hill, and McCluggage round out your top 3. And Christian Daly coming to us from Carmel, Indiana. And that's where his relationship with Dean Charrier began. Dean and his wife Donna used to live up there in that neighborhood, became very good friends with the Daly family. And Christian now picking up some Dean's team sponsorship because of it.
You know, it's got some rollers out there, but you look at the surface of the water is very clear. That's because there's no wind happening this weekend. All that chop you're seeing out there on top of the water is just caused by the other skis. Yeah, not to mention it's about 85 degrees or 85% humidity out there. The water temp is over 80 degrees as well. And definitely a warm weekend here in St. Pete Beach as we go back on board with Chris McCluggage, currently in 3rd place. Yeah, I'll tell you, Tyler Hill able to get past McCluggage as we take a look out there, and that is 2nd place Tyler Hill right there on that Riva Motorsports sponsored Yamaha. And here comes McCluggage as they work their way through some traffic. But look out, here comes Brian Baldwin. On board Chris McCluggage, you can see just how much turbulence he's got trying to get up there to the next boat. Going back out to your leader right there, and he's trying to put a little real estate between he and 2nd place right now. And I can see he's got some lap traffic behind him. I see Jason Russo on the Geico boat as we take a look here, and you can see that riding style. He's up. Oh! Wow. Goes right over the top, does a little bit of cartwheel action there. You know, he stood up on the ski and it looked like it hit the next bump and he just wasn't firm, and it just pushed him over, and the center of gravity changed on that ski, and that was it. That's it. You take a look at his center of gravity, boom, lost it right there, goes off of the ski, cartwheels through the water. And meanwhile, with him having to go back and pick up his ski, Brian Baldwin has moved into the lead as you see him getting a ride over from our course marshals right there. And our course marshals doing a great job out there keeping everybody safe. I'm not even sure that I could have got even pulled back onto that course marshal thing. I'd be wondering what day it was. Exactly. Christian's probably scratching his head right now. What zip code am I in? Well, it looks like he's going to be okay, though. He's a little bit younger than us. I think he can handle it, Martin. Yeah, but look, my hat's off to them. You know, you get off on a ski at that kind of speed, and that's going to leave a mark. Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, he circles back around, going to jump back into the lineup here and still maintains his 2nd place position. And that just goes to show you how big of a lead that he had. Well, that's got to be disappointing, though, because he was out front as we now look at our new leader, Brian Baldwin. And Brian Baldwin riding a stellar race. You know, just a couple laps ago, he was back there in 4th place fighting with McCluggage and Hill. And with McCluggage and Hill going at it, Baldwin was able to skate around him, and that's how he got into 1st place, folks. Meanwhile, looks like your race leader has some lap traffic up in front of him, and we'll see if that causes him any issues as time starts to tick away here on race number 2 of our P1 Aquacross 300 Enduro class. Let's talk a little bit about the history of the Don Cesar here, Martin. That hotel opened in 1928, and the history as we were here looking through all the well-known people that have stayed here, all the way through guys like Al Capone that stayed there in the day. What an amazing place, and with the renovation that's going through and our vantage point up here in the penthouse suite, absolutely spectacular. Yeah, special thanks to the entire staff here at the Don Cesar. Come on out here and join us at the Pink Palace in 2020, folks. Well, back out to your race course, and it looks like the United Kingdom's Phil Pope, boat number 202, working his way into this front straightaway. And Phil, factory team member with Riva Motorsports. His teammates include your race leader, Brian Baldwin, and of course Tyler Hill, who we've been talking about as he goes past Hill right there. And Hill looks like he might be down a cylinder. He's definitely not running at speed as we look at our leader having to work his way through some lap traffic. That's Brian Baldwin.
Yeah, it's brutal out there when you've got this many racers out there and you're trying to work your way through lap traffic and still try to figure out what's going on behind you. That's when you need a great team that's over there on the beach that's signaling to you exactly where you're at on the racetrack.
Other skis I see out there looks like Jason Russo, as Baldwin trying to work his way up there. He's got 2 more lappers ahead of him.
Yeah, Russo easy to pick out there on that bright yellow Geico boat as Baldwin gets hosed right there, and he's going to work a different line. As you see, he's going to work to the inside now as those racers in front of him get that blue flag with a yellow stripe, and you know what that means. There's a race going on.
And you ain't in it.
That's right. Move. Here come the leaders, boys. So that's exactly what those racers are doing right now as Baldwin closing in on a victory here for race number 2. And we can take a look through the goggles once again of Tyler Hill as he sees his Riva Racing teammate just zip by him like he was standing still.
Tyler Hill suddenly has become a spectator in this event as he's looking back. So he's definitely off some power, was running so strong at the beginning as we go on board Eric Francis. But our leader, Brian Baldwin, coming around, and this should be coming up towards the end. I think he is going to take a checkered flag here. And he takes the win. Brian Baldwin takes the win in round number 2 here in St. Pete.
Well, congratulations to him at Riva Racing and, of course, Champion Power Sports.
Let's take a look at our leaderboard. The win goes to Brian Baldwin, followed by Christian Daly, Dennis Mack, Eric Lagopoulos, Sophie Francis, who beats her husband, Eric Francis.
Brian, #1 jersey, #1 spot. You must be feeling it.
Yeah, you know, I was ready for like 30 more. I really didn't get very tired. It's really flat out there, though, so it's kind of like going on a Sunday afternoon cruise, which I guess it's Sunday afternoon. So, but yeah, that was good. Just one more.
Happy Father's Day. Great day.
Thank you, thank you.
Christian, man, tell us about that one. Looks like you were streets ahead, and then I lost you somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. When I get out front, I'm always watching my gap, and clearly I had a big enough one where I could have started riding a little bit easier. But that's just, for me, it's a rookie mistake. You know, I've been here, I've fallen off like this before, and it's time for me to get back up and make up for this and go out with the win the next moto.
You've obviously got the speed, and yeah, there's one more to go.
Yeah. I pushed it pretty hard, but I think I still got it in me. I'm young, and I'm fearless, and so I'm going to see if I can put it all together in Moto 3.
Well, that's it, the first one of 2 here on Father's Day Sunday down on St. Pete Beach. Join us for the next one right after this. Welcome back to St. Pete Beach, where there is one more race to go, and down here in the pits, all of the riders are getting set and ready for that one, including number 153, Ripit Energy rider Ant Radatic. Ant's been involved in the sport since 2014, and year on year, he just goes from strength to strength. And I understand Ripit Energy are still doing a great job of keeping you fueled up, and the team behind you also doing a great job.
Oh yeah, man, these guys love Ripit Energy. I think they function off of it. That's like they're like fuel for the weekend.
But doing well at a race weekend, you got to have a few good people behind you who've got your back.
Yeah, having a good team is key, and having my cousin here, his wife, and Holland Motorsports, and the guys from Softlead, it's absolutely amazing.
So Tyler, after that last race there, looked like you were going well, but then did you lose power or something?
Yeah, I was actually running second. I think I made it about halfway through, and then I had a slight mechanical issue. So it took me down where I could only get about 40 miles an hour. So then I kind of fell back from there. So.
Anything that you've been able to do since then to now, going into the last one?
Yeah, no, we got the boat fixed, did a quick test on it, so we should be ready to go. And I'm moving pretty far back in points, but the best thing I can do out there is try to get a moto win and show these guys that I'm here to play.
Weekend, you're 3rd place at the moment going into the final moto. How are you feeling?
We're feeling great, ready to get started on this moto, and hopefully we can keep it together and put a good last moto together and put it on the podium.
You've obviously raced for many years, but last year you were coming back, and AquaX was you like starting racing again, and it seems to me like you're like finding your form now this year. Yeah, definitely. It took better half of a season to get back in up to pace. The pace in AquaX is just incredible. The talent's incredible, and the best in the world are out here, so it's not an easy feat to just jump right back in and be in the top 10, and couldn't be more stoked to be moving up to the top 5 and looking for a podium. And you obviously got the Yamaha hooked up nicely for the flat water that we've seen today. Yeah, definitely. Yamaha has really stepped their game up with the new FX. It's an awesome machine.
it's really making it a lot easier on the water to just keep moving forward and making that part of the aspect a lot easier on us riders.
Well, best of luck to D-Mac. Seems that he's finding his form at just the right time this season. But as far as the weekend's concerned, well, those points are tight at the top. Dennis there has 32 points. Just below him, Sophie Francis and Eric Lagopoulos tied on 28. And then ahead of D-Mac, well, he's got to get past Eric Francis, sitting on 38 points. But the man in the top spot at the moment, the Lucas Oil ranked world #1, Brian Baldwin, is on 45. Final one of the weekend then, Moto 3 coming up. So let's head on out to the start.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Brian Baldwin coming into this third and final race, Martin, with a 7-point lead over Eric Francis.
It's going to be tight to see how these guys do it, but we've had a couple of boat changes also, and that's going to change things up right out of the gate.
And we'll explain that a little bit later as we look through the lenses of Christian Daly right now. Christian taking a second place. He was poised to take that overall win and then had that bad get off.
Ooh. Well, you know he's looking for a little bit of redemption in this final moto. He wants to finish strong. And we're on board with Chris McCluggage as we're waiting for the green flag.
And you can see the company flag to his right and to his left as the green flag comes up. Waiting for everybody to get in the gate before we drop that green flag. And again, weather's starting to come in from the east right now, so hopefully we can get all this in. Green flag drops, and we are off and away.
It's a drag race start. Let's see who gets the whole shot here in the final moto in St. Pete.
Well, I tell you, 20-plus boats, all going toward one turn, no brakes, and it's about a mile-long first turn, so you know that they're gaining their top speeds. We're on board right now at Tyler Hill, 70-plus mile per hour, Martin.
It's amazing. You look down at that screen, you can actually see 70 miles an hour these guys are running at the start of this race. That's why you know when he got off that ski at 70 miles an hour. And to get right back out on the ski and run another 30-minute moto, my hat's off to him as we go on board Christian Daly, and he got the whole shot.
Yeah, great jump there by Christian Daly. You got to feel like he is back for a little redemption. Oh, look at this. McCluggage and Francis going at it, bond rail to bond rail. And I'll tell you what, things could get hairy out there. You're looking at some high-speed, full-contact fiberglass warfare.
Yeah, Francis watched his own ski go by him.
Wow, yeah, that's got to be pretty depressing. As you pointed out at the onset of this, McCluggage having to go to Francis's backup ski, who was also riding out of the Broward Motorsports trailer.
Christian Daly out front. What a great hole shot for him. This is his rookie year, but you talk about the pedigree of this young guy and his family in racing. They are no strangers.
Yeah, you got that right. His father, Derek Daly, a longtime F1 driver, and now does some commentating with ESPN. Also, his brother, Connor Daly, took a 10th place just this year in the Indy 500.
That's a big deal. If you can finish anywhere at the top of the Indy 500, you're accomplished.
Well, I'll tell you, we still got Daly out in front. He's being followed by Chris McCluggage, and I believe that's Eric Francis that has moved up into third place as we look through his lenses. Things starting to chop up out there as we go back on board with Daly. Daly riding smooth, and it looks like he's keeping more of a center of gravity on that Yamaha.
He's keeping over the top of that ski right now.
Yeah, trying to stay on the back of it, keep that pump hooked up. And again, Christian picking up some great sponsorship from Dean's team, Dean Charrier, and all the folks over at Broward Motorsports helping him out. I believe he's being covered this year by Jet Pilot, his official wetsuit.
This is when these guys get to that third heat, this is where you see all that training start to pay off. The endurance training these guys have to do as you look at our top three, Daly, McCluggage, and Francis, you know, because even as they start this third heat, they've got to be exhausted.
Yeah, you know, they've already went 60 minutes plus 2 laps earlier this weekend. I seen some of the guys in the pits walking around, and they were looking like they could have been a poster boy for Ben Gay.
Tyler Hill currently running in 5th place. You can see how he's really having to throw that ski around.
Yeah, Hill doing a great job again, coming from the West Coast. He comes from a racing family as well. His mother, a multi-time world champion in IJSBA closed course racing.
And that looked like Daly driving by Sophie Francis as we go on board Chris McCluggage, who's currently in 2nd place, trying to see if he can reel in Daly.
You know, you were just mentioning Sophie Francis. Sophie's having her best weekend of her young aquacross career, having some top 10 finishes here this weekend.
And look, she beat her husband in the last heat, so that's got to be,
yeah,
that's good.
5th overall in that last race as The white flag getting ready to come out, and let's go on board here with this final lap here for Christian Daly. And if you're that young man, you have to be ecstatic right now to be in the position you're in.
You know, and I like how he's riding the ski right now. He's just so in control, and he's confident. You don't see him looking over his shoulder to see where everybody is. He's running his race. He knows he's out front. He's actually in a good position. He's not even going to have to deal with any lappers, it looks like, on his final lap. And he is just killing it right now, and I think he can smell the victory.
Well, you know, he's no stranger to the winner's circle and most of the other different forms of racing that he's gone to. He just hasn't made the podium yet here with AquaX because we've got such a talented pool of racers out there.
Well, he's looking to check a box right here.
He's got, I believe, some lap traffic in front of him that he's going to have to get around as he approaches this right-hand dogleg coming north to south as we view it here from the Don.
Going to come right at the beach. Couple turns to go. The checkered flag is out right now, and he's on his way to his first Pro Enduro checkered flag. Amazing run for this young racer.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Broward Motorsports crew and the Dean's team crew are all up on their feet, clapping the checkered flag out, and it drops. First time ever, Christian Daly taking a win here in the third and final race, and this has got to be very emotional for this youngster.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit of excitement right there.
You know, and you know, you got to be thinking, you know, what's going through his head right now. You know, you think of all the hard work, all the time spent in the gym, all the traveling, all the races that you've been to, you know, and all the hard work, and that is a goal realized right there.
You know, when you got a racing family, you know that the whole family's behind you also, because they truly understand the significance of winning, especially in such a competitive fleet.
Very emotional. But I'm sure that he's really excited, smiling, as you know, he's giving praise to where it needs to be. Take that checkered flag. Christian Daly, you deserve it.
His first checkered flag in the P1 AquaX Pro Enduro Series.
Yeah, that might be coming home in the race trailer.
I think so. I prefer the checkered flags were my favorite part of the thing. And, you know, the trophies are neat, but I kept all the checkered flags. Let's take a look at our results for heat number 3. Christian Daly takes the win, followed by Eric Francis, Tyler Hill, Chris McCluggage, Chris Saxon, and Brian Baldwin. But you might notice that McCluggage and Baldwin, they're down a little bit lower than where we actually saw them finish.
Yeah, if you change your boats before the onset of a race, then you are deducted 2 positions, where Mack had finished in 2nd, Baldwin had finished in 4th.
Let's take a look at our overall for the weekend. Eric Francis takes the win, followed by Brian Baldwin, Christian Daly, Sophie Francis, Tyler Hill, and Eric Lagopoulos.
Now, the reason that Francis got the overall win with him and Baldwin tied up at 58 points is the fact that he had the better finish, the higher finish on the last and final race.
So, Brian, great riding from you all weekend, but in the end, it was the ski that let you down.
Yeah, you know, we had been okay all weekend. The last lap of the second moto, the ski started missing, and we thought we had it fixed. We went out on the parade lap, still had the miss, so I had to run in and grab the backup, and you know, I wasn't used to the ski, and it, you know, you lose 2 positions changing boats, so it still turned out good. I'm leaving here with the points lead, so overall it was a really good weekend.
Yeah, and excitingly as well, you're leaving here with that Lucas Oil World Rank #1 jersey on. That was a great announcement last night.
Yeah, you know, I've been working for this since 2015, and you know, it feels really good to, you know, come home with this big world #1.
Yeah, I mean, we got a really good start, and you know, we were on a GP all weekend, and that ski, when it gets out front, man, it's really, really hard to beat. So we didn't get better starts in the last 2, but still had some good finishes, enough to get up top.
Okay, let's look at our P1 AquaX Championship Series points. Brian Baldwin sits on top with 123, in front of McCluggage with 100, Francis with 92, followed by Daly, Mack, and Lagopoulos.
So that's it. Another great weekend's racing comes to a close in the beautiful white sands here at St. Pete Beach. It has been a phenomenal weekend's racing once again, and from here, the Pro Enduro Tour will move to Michigan City, and we would love it if you could join us there. So until then, from all of us here, see ya.
Yeah.